Check it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Impossible!
Yokai Watch!
Wibwobbers, Robbett here. While I've already covered the popcorn scramble and the introduction of the LAST NYANMURAI, there's enough happening mid-event that it's worth talking about. First, while initially it stated there would be a new score attack where you could get NARWAIL and Whaleman, it changed to be a crankable NARWAIL and Qualinyan as a reward. Next, North America received a Black Friday event with the introduction of U ROBONYAN to the Oni Crankakai, as well as the reintroduction of Liberdynyan SS. You've seen me use LibSS more than enough times, but let's check out all these new single attackers. Here's the LAST NYANMURAI. He's a pure single attacker with 863 attack when maxed and a paltry 443 hit points. He's an SS rank yokai, so he's got the de facto editorial value of 120 points of power, but we'll test that out. The big thing missing from this page is a small graphic that should be in the upper left showing compatibility with the Dream Watch. We only have one additional watch in Yokai Watch Wibble Wobble, while Puni has 5. Given the recent influx of Yokai Watch 3 content, it's possible we'll get the maps where you can construct the Dream Watch, but for now, nada. The Dream Watch adds 10% attack and hit points to all American yokai, which would bring him to 949 attack. One of the additional lures of LAST NYANMURAI is that his skill is to boost Brave tribe unity. With the introduction of Arachneval, Brave is the most well fleshed out team in Wibwob, so you can get a pretty impressive tribe boost. Also, he's an American cat that loves Japanese culture and thus became a samurai. Moving on. Before LAST NYANMURAI, He Knows All Awoken was added. He Knows All Awoken has a whopping 823 hit points and more importantly 790 attack. Unfortunately, Shady isn't super well funded in terms of boosters, but He Knows All Awoken is a god yokai, so I wouldn't count him out. Before all the new events were the Mega Yokai, and Captain Thunder M, also of the Shady tribe, was introduced. He's got matching hit point and attack stats of 753. I prefer to call him Purple Emperor. We'll go back one more event and check out the big man, Robonyan 3000. His hit points aren't as impressive as the last two, but they're still 150 more than LAST NYANMURAI. His attack is where it's at with 858, more than any of the others save LAST NYANMURAI, where it's ever so slightly less. In Puni, Mysterious is a devastating tribe, but at least we've got Oranyan M for now to help out with boosting him. Similar to my Tracers video recently, I'm going to take the Bear Yokai with no tribal unity against a neutral target and see what they can do. Given these are direct attackers, there's nothing fancy to test in terms of the makeup of the board, fever or not, etc. It's purely a direct attack when you hit that Sultimate button and boosts come into play, which we aren't using here. That's 8,706 damage. Given his attack stat, that's an attack multiplier of around 10.1 at Sultimate level 7. Purple Emperor's up next with 753 attack and does 7,596 damage. That's also a multiplier of 10.1 at Ultimate level 7, he just has a lesser attack stat. Robonyan 3000's got nearly the highest attack stat of all at 858 and does 8,655 damage. Same multiplier, guess it's standard for SS, so it's all from that big attack stat. Lastly, here's He Knows All Awoken with his 790 attack. He does 9,778 damage, over 1,000 more than LAST NYANMURAI. Clearly he doesn't have as high of an attack stat, but he's got a much higher attack multiplier of 12.4 hidden within the game at Sultimate level 7. When it's all said and done, really what matters is the team that you put into battle. For the LAST NYANMURAI, I've brought Blazion Awoken and Arachneval from the Brave tribe for their unity. Most everyone will run a single attacker with Slurpin, so I've brought him as well. That leaves me one slot, and while I'd love to bring another Brave booster, Pink Emperor has a lot more boost than the next strongest Brave, so it's better than the added Unity. 32,600 damage for a single Sultimate with the boosters. Not bad. Clearly you could do more by swapping out Slurpin for another booster, but then you couldn't get as many Sultimates off. I'm not going to try and pull an amazing max damage here, as a mixture of skill and luck will determine how many Sultimates you can use. I'm just going to see out the Flood, which yields 8 Last NYANMURAI Sultimates, probably an average amount. That's 313,562 damage in total, around 16.3 million score. Next up, we have NARWAIL. NARWAIL is from the third Yokai Watch movie and is frankly kind of awesome looking. I know he's an all-attacker when single attackers and tracers are all the rage, but let's check him out. He's got 463 hit points and 655 attack. Nothing that will make the headlines, but as far as all attackers go, he's pretty darn good. He's only an S rank, so he's got his power listed at 100 points. As a slippery yokai, he's got nothing, other than tribe unity with Slurpin. We really need Dojira and Jim Manhattan from Puni to get slippery boosters. Also, no skill. Oh well. Interdimensional whale whaling. Got it. NARWAIL's up against our only mega all-attacker, Wismelloman M. Wismelloman M has over 150 more hit points and attack with 627 and 821 respectively. He's also from the Slippery tribe, but as an SS rank he's theoretically got more oomph behind his attacks. Before Wismelloman M, there was the often forgotten Liberty Nyan S. Not Liberty Nyan the all-attacker, and not Liberty Nyan SS the tracer, but Liberty Nyan S, also an all-attacker. He's got 429 hit points and 640 attack. Hailing from the Heartful tribe, so he's got Unicurin and Elder Bloom as boosters. Strangely, although in S rank, he's listed with the same power as Wismelloman M. Here he is, the yokai that dethroned Komashura. It's Kirin. He's got the lowest stats of them all with 423 hit points and 605 attack, but he gains a boost from the Zero Watch. The Zero Watch gives 5% to hit points and attack, bringing him up to 444 and 635 respectively. He has all the same tribe buddies as Liberty Nyan S as well. This time we're up against Massiface, everyone's favorite all-attacker grinding spot, to see what the damage output is. There have been some tweaks lately to Massiface that make him a little harder to flood and farm, but it's nothing that will matter for these tests. Keep in mind that all attackers are just a different form of direct attackers, so just like single attackers, the board composition doesn't matter. NARWAIL puts up damage of 3,189 times 3, or 9,567 in total. With his 655 attack, that means a multiplier of 14.6 at Sultimate level 7 against 3 targets. Next is Wismelloman M. With his superior attack of 821, he does 3,997 damage times 3, or 11,991 total. That's a pretty big jump of almost 2,500 damage, yet the multiplier is the same at 14.6. Now it's middle Liberty Nyan, and he produces a decent 3,116 times 3, or 9,348 total, fairly close to NARWAIL. His attack stat is only 15 less, so having the same multiplier, it makes sense. Lastly, it's Kirin, who I'm testing with the Zero Watch. The Zero Watch has been around forever, and together they produce 3,092 damage times 3, or 9,276. Again, pretty close to NARWAIL, same multiplier, and the watch helps with the attack stat. Let's saddle up with Massiface and get real for a moment. I've got Ornyan M, Pink Emperor, and Elder Bloom for my boosters. As I mentioned before, I don't have any slippery options when it comes to boosters, so the only tribal unity I'm going to get is through Slurpin. Battling with all attackers can be more difficult, especially farming Y money, simply because you need to have 3 targets to get the most out of them. Even with a weaker attack stat, you'll often get more damage from an all-attacker than a single attacker, but you lose the ease of simply doing damage and not worrying about the target. In this case, that means making sure Massiface has all 3 of his eyes open, something I haven't worried about in a long time thanks to Liberty Neon SS. Narwail does 33,000 damage with a single Sultimate, with these boosters when all yokai are maxed out. We'll finish out the flood, 8 Sultimates to match what I did with LAST NYANMURAI. 306,000 damage in the end, or 15.6 million Y money. That's about 7,000 damage less and 700 Y money less to boot. Here's the real surprise though, U ROBONYAN, who dropped in our laps during Black Friday. For many folks, they got him relatively quickly. I saw player upon player who got him in only a few cranks or maybe tens of cranks. Took me 265. Really, it sucked. He's got 839 attack and 625 hit points. He's tough, so he's got a few boosters, but not a ton. U ROBONYAN is a single attacker, but he's part of a class of single attackers that vary their damage according to their hit points. In U Robo's case, as soon as he gets under 50% hit points, he's got a bonus, specifically around 12%. Once you get him below 10% hit points, that shoots way up to around 45% damage bonus. His skill is to reduce damage against Mysterious, which is not great. Tough is strong against Mysterious, so your best option for farming money with U Robo will be against Mysterious yokai. Yet to really get his best, you're going to need to be low on hit points, which is harder to do. It's a technicality. Really knowledgeable, high power to weight ratio. I dig it. Going back a little, Shogun King M is one of the best mega yokai we got during the summer, and it's also a graduated bonus single attacker. He's got slightly less attack at 800 and a ton less hit points at 400, but as a brave tribe member he's got more booster options currently. When he gets below 50% hit points, he's got a 10% bonus, and all the way down at 0, he's got just shy of 40%, so his damage bonus is a little less too. The other, far less formidable looking yokai we got during the Mega Summer was Melanyon M. He's got the best attack stat of all 3 of them by a single point, and 50 less hit points than U Robo. The big difference, however, is that his bonus is reversed compared to the other 2. If Melanyon M has less than 80% of his hit points, he gets no bonus. If he's got more than 80% of his hit points, he gets a 30% bonus. You want to get in and out as fast as possible with the green fruit cat. We're back to another visit to Unfairy, and this time we're going to test each yokai 2 ways. I'll get them down as low as I can go without getting knocked out with this particular group, and then I'll show them with full hit points. First up is our boy U Robo. Next, we're at 100% hit points. He does 7,350 damage. That's no bonus and a hidden multiplier around 8.8 times. Down at 16% of hit points, and he does 10,437. That's a bonus of 42%. Now it's SKM, who does 6,802 damage with 100% hit points, which is a slightly lower hidden multiplier of 8.5. When I take us down to 9% hit points, he does 9,386, which is a 33% bonus. We're going to do Melanyon M the other way. Starting out at 14% hit points, he does 7,685 damage. When the team is at a full 100%, however, he does 9,991, a 30% bonus. Now's the time when we take Gargaros and U Robo, the 2 tough tribe members, along with Pink Emperor, Elder Bloom, and Slurpent to see what they can really do. Quick note, unlike Hino's All Awoken and Dressed Up Whisper, U ROBONYAN kept his special music when he's in the center slot, so I've turned off the sound effects for now. Back to business. Planning a flood and getting to low hit points is kind of a pain in the butt, so I take my time and eat the continue. For science. Ultimately, my team is just under 12% hit points when I get into Fever, which means I'm not at the absolute best bonus. Because I use Pink Emperor, my hit points go up to 19%, but I'm still in that 10 to 20% bucket. Let's see if it pays off to play with a graduated bonus single attacker. With a single Sultimate and boosters, U Robo does just shy of 35,000 damage. I'll finish out the flood here with another 7 Ultimates, bringing the total to 8 just like the other 2 cases, and the result is 325,000 damage and 17 million score. Of the 3, he's the big winner, but of course he's also fairly high maintenance given you need to manipulate the team's hit points. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe to me on YouTube and Twitter for the latest Wibble Wobble and Puni information. Until the next video, good luck with your attack.